Thank you for tuning into yet another episode of Insight. We today we're talking about a theme, which of course chosen by our guest, uh, about a theme which was everybody's delight back in 2022. 2023 has seen the enthusiasm in the space, at least from a optical perspective, which is a stock price perspective. Um, See a divergent trend. Some companies have done well, some companies haven't. From a price perspective, from a performance perspective, maybe some of the companies or most of the companies have done well. And the commentary from the ones that have come out with the results thus far seem to suggest that they're all buoyed up about what's in store for the next many years. The theme that I'm talking about is defense. And our guest, who's chosen to talk about defense and a company in particular, is Gurmeet Chadha of Complete Circle. He joins us on the show. Gurmeet, great having you. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks, Niraj. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Gurmeet, the bare basics and the numbers, well spoken about, well discovered. But 2023 has seen a divergent trend in defense companies' fortunes. Why do you like this space? What do you like within this space, and why so?
So Niraj, I think defense capex is a very secular theme. Stock prices may not be linear, and also these contracts are long-dated contracts. So there are basically four triggers which I like this theme. One is the defense capex for last 10 years has been growing at 9-10%, which is in sync with your nominal GDP growth. So it's a secular, it accounts for 2.5-3% of the GDP, and with now geopolitical tensions, the budget outlay is increasing. So the one is the secular growth. Second is the import substitution now, which India is undertaking with the rise now of a multipolar world. In a unipolar world, you have one power, economic power, one military power. In a multipolar world, it gets spread, which we have seen with the recent conflict, which makes it very important to have in-house, capabilities, not only on equipments, but to also enhance R&D capabilities, run various programs. What we have seen is in long conflicts, like the one we are seeing, the dependence on vendor ecosystem becomes very important, right? You should not get disrupted. The critical supply should not get disrupted. Third, while focusing on this, another opportunity which has come is the export opportunity, right? We saw about 104 countries participate in the Aero, Expo, which happened a couple of months back, and some great display of what indigenously designs and systems Indian companies have been able to build. The fourth trigger is this: how to make, which is what we are interested in, how to add and value and, gain on this defense ecosystem. So one way is to, large orders which, the PSUs get. So the largest order this year was BEL. They got like more than 16,000 crores orders out of 44,000 crores. Then you have, the other ones like HAL, which is the largest defense PSU, did almost 27,000 crores revenue last year. BDL. And then there are, the niche guys, who are into, defense electronics, who are into niche defense, equipment, systems, communication network. So, and then you play through the four triggers. So I think the opportunity is very secular. And since as I made a point that the awards are long drawn with various milestones. Look at, for example, US. The top 5 companies do $350 billion of revenue.
Sure.
Right. And still grow. They're still growing at double digits. So the size of the opportunity, in my view, is huge.
Okay, and therefore, quickly before we get into management, because we're getting in Paras defense, or maybe let's get in Munjal Shah in this. But as he joins the show, Gurmeet, very quickly first, tell us what is it that Paras is doing which is unique? What is the insight there?
Yeah, so this is one company which is, I'm quite fascinated since the time they got listed in terms of the stuff they do. So just to make it simple for viewers, they are into defense electronics. They are into defense heavy engineering. So it's basically a engineering company specializing, in defense. And then, they have defense optics, and some very niche technologies. So for example, in India, they are the largest makers of infrared optics, in the country. And so many first things they have done, to me, it's a tech company within defense, which is where we have seen that the value addition is more. So who better than the company to take the discussion forward in terms of what are the exciting areas there? Yeah.
Okay, let's do that, because the last time that I spoke to our guest, Gurmeet, which is Munjal Shah of Paras Defense, he joins us on the show. And Munjal, welcome on Inside. Good having you, really. Thanks for taking the time out. But the last time that I spoke, hi, the last time that I spoke to Munjal, Gurmeet, Munjal was telling me that I should talk to him about the anti-drone piece as well, because that will be the next exciting thing, and we'll talk about that as well. But Munjal, first, can I just get you in and just ask you about how do you see the runway? Simply because the numbers are known that the opportunity size is very large. Companies will benefit if they stay in the ecosystem, so on and so forth, make in India, everything. So all of that is known. What is your right to win?
First of all, because of so many opportunities getting unveiled and unlocked, everybody, by the virtue of they being there for so many years and they being able to sustain for so many years, everybody will be in business and everybody will have continuous flow of business. And we believe that everybody, say right from the smallest to the largest, everybody should be looking at about a double-digit growth. Okay, the small ones could have maybe even much larger growth. But on an average, you're looking at a double-digit growth for each and every company, most of them who are able in this sector. So this is what is unveiled, and this is unlocked by the virtue of first is fast decision, second is make in India, and third is also looking at you going global. So a lot of things that are working for the sector, and this is going to be there for a long time.
Yeah, but just before Gurmeet asks his questions as well, Munjal, I don't think the market will be very happy if you do only double digits, right? Or low double digits, because double digits starts from 10, So my limited point is, where is it? I don't want to ask about the pace of growth because you must be in a silent period. I'm just trying to understand, where does your right to win come from? I mean, is it that your product acceptability is actually inched up meaningfully? Or is it that you're expanding your basket of products? Where do you think you will derive your growth for the decade?
So for if you ask for Paras Defense in particular,
yes,
Paras Defense started as a tier 3 company and then moved to tier 2 company, okay, making like components and then sub assemblies and assemblies, and now we are also a tier 1 company. To give you like big examples of tier 1, we won contract for making submarine periscopes. Then recently, about a couple of months back, I think in March, we won a contract for doing a complete avionics suite for a 19-seater plane. This plane will be used for maybe civilian application and also for military application. So we are the lead integrator, we are the prime contractor for this particular program. And it's a huge program. Along with that, we are also having some other optical systems that we are working on, which are also going to be maybe sold in the coming times. Very, very unique and very like futuristic. To give you one of the examples, infrared search and tracking system. This is a system that is required on each and every fighter planes of our country. Could be for maybe Air Force, could be for naval fighter planes. And we have just started working on this system. Huge potential. We have like possibility of maybe 500 to 1,000 systems and very, very high value. So Paras Defense has many things. Along with that, we are also into electromagnetic pulse protection. We are the only company in the country, no government, no private, who is doing EMP protection on turnkey basis. And we are now we are through with all the qualifications, which took a long time, and now we are doing turnkey projects on EMP. And a lot of sites in the country needs EMP protection. Along with that, maybe the civilian sector also will open up in the next coming times. So Paras Defense has a lot of things that will take them to the next levels and also give a very, very good growth. Along with that, we also have our subsidiaries that have now started to, or they will now start delivering. One is the drone company and one is the anti-drone company that we just mentioned about. So for Paras Defense, we have a lot in the making, and we are very happy at this moment. And we believe that coming times will be more better and better and better.
Okay, Gurmeet, any questions?
Yeah. So I know it's a silent period, so I would ask more on what's the size of the opportunity is in few pockets. So this is a leading company in IDDM, which is indigenously designed, developed, manufacturing. And recently we saw government giving a AON, which is the acceptance of necessity, of almost 2.64 lakh crores. On various defense equipment, systems, subsystems, etc. And it is, this is, as I track this space for last 2 years. I think one name which I can think of. I've been trying to attend a lot of investor con calls to make more sense of this. It's a technical space. So I would like to understand the size in terms of this, 2.64 lakh crores of in which the defense DSE announced. Second, you mentioned about submarine periscope in your November analyst meet. I was fortunate to attend in 2022, which is like the eyes of the submarine, right? Which you
Yes.
mentioned, which you spoke of induction. So, and if you could give some perspective on it, how big is that opportunity within the water space?
So first, I will start with the Periscope opportunity. Currently we are executing contract for 3 numbers. In pipeline, also we have a few numbers that we should be hopefully getting in the coming times, just maybe a few weeks or maybe whatever, but in a very, very short time. And then we have also a funnel for a few of them. Each submarine has 2 periscopes. Okay, and if you would like to know, like, what could be the potential price going forward, you're looking at about maybe 13 to 15 million dollars for a set. Okay, and in India, just India, okay, we have about 15 to 20 vessels which are sailing, and the moment we deliver this, and once it is taken, we have a possibility of either retrofitting the ones that are there, or maybe putting the new ones on board. And plus, also there are a few subs that are also under manufacturing, so we will be also having a possibility to put on them also. The worst case scenario potential is 1 set per year. Okay, this is just worst case scenario. Okay, we believe that it could be maybe 2 or 3 sets per year, and also just with all the news that people know that we are doing periscopes in India now, we also have got maybe people inquiring with us whether we could work on periscopes for the export market. And our price, we believe, is very, very competitive as compared to what price otherwise the other competitors would be asking for. So because of competitiveness, and also because of we having the capability to do most of it in-house, we believe that we could turn around the scopes in the shortest possible time. So with very good deliveries and good price, and also giving maintenance also support at a very, very reasonable price now, because periscopes also have maintenance requirements, and the OEM benefits from the maintenance also, and also supply of spares and everything else that goes into it. So with all this being offered at a reasonable price to the end user, we believe that we will also have export market that will get unlocked for us in the coming times. So this is what is the potential for the submarine periscopes.
Excellent. Niraj, can I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I mean, very good insights, and I think I probably that's a lot of wisdom. Also, on another interesting area which caught my attention was this agriculture drone certification, which actually is not defense. It's more something which is got to do with the general welfare of the largest segment of population, right? Which I think any country used to grow. And you mentioned about 1,000 being the order book. I mean, in the last interaction, which I was part of. So can you throw some light on that? How is that progressing? How can that be an opportunity as we go ahead?
So I had mentioned during the meet that it is funnel of 1,000. Funnel means intent and interest of people who want them. But anyways, so we received our certification for Agri drone from the Civil Aviation Ministry in first week of April. So the certification has just been received, and we also have announced it. It took some while to get a little bit extra time to get, because certification of drones is a very, very big thing, or a very big achievement. So we have been able to get the certification only in first week of April. And the moment we have got the certification, we have already started selling. So just in less than maybe around a month's time of getting certified as a drone manufacturer for agri purposes, we have already started selling. So we would have sold maybe easy by now about 50 drones. And currently we have also, again, I would like to inform that we have a very strong funnel which is very, very big, because agri drone right now is required by every state, every pesticide company or every fertilizer company. Everybody is inquiring. And what we are trying to do is we are right now trying to improve our supply chain. We wish to offer this product at the most competitive price in our country. Like we are working towards offering agri drones, certified agri drones, okay, certified agri drones at the most competitive price or being the most competitive seller. So that is what we are working on in parallel, and we believe that in the next couple of months, our supply chain also will be more optimized and will be more competent, and we will be able to sell agri drones at a much cheaper price in at the end, also putting less load on the farmers or putting less load on the end user, and this way making spraying a very 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 economic and also a win-win for everyone. So so this is what is on the agri drone from our side.
Okay. Gurmeet, can I just squeeze in a question before you ask your next one? Munjal, would the opportunity size as well as the internal metrics be as competitive in the agri drone business as it would be in a defense drone business? Part one. And rolled into that is, over the next 5 years, do you believe both have an equal opportunity for you as a company, or would one vertical, say military drones, score over the defense drone business? Because optically I would think agri drone would be a much larger business per se, but it'll be best to understand what would it mean for Paras Defense.
So we have our drones for agriculture purposes. We have drones for defense application,
right,
in defense surveillance, and then we also have industrial drones, which are also for industrial surveillance purpose.
got it.
I think in just 2 years' time, we have been able to create the maximum types of aircrafts, and we are working on getting certified. We are working on getting certification for each one of them. Even defense drones, which currently don't require certification, we are working on getting them certified too. So agri drone is going to be a big market. Currently, there are a few tenders which are live, and each tender is minimum 1,000, like 1,000, 2,000. Say like right now, there is a tender from IFCO, which is live for about $2,500. Then there are state governments which are coming up with tenders, but everybody looking at 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 plus. So agri drone is a big market. Will be also a bit competitive, yes, but the volumes will be so large that everybody will have enough business, and there will be a reasonable value at, say, we would like to make the product competitive so that the end user also is not the end user also is benefited big time. So we are looking, Paras Defense or Paras Aerospace, our subsidiary, is looking at giving back to the nation through making agri drones at a very, very competitive price. Of course, we will make reasonable profit, but would like to dedicate this to the country and to the farmers and to the Prime Minister of our nation. And on the defense side also, the requirements now are coming up for different types of drones. Okay, for in defense, you have a drone which could be starting from maybe 2 lakh rupees to a drone could be maybe about a crore rupees. Okay, so there are a lot of different types of drones that are required in defense application. Maybe different specification. So the market in defense also is going to be very big, and probably both will be, if you ask, both will be at par. Both will be few thousand crore market to start with, and also could be maybe if you put like the larger UAVs that we don't really know much. It's not like known to common people. Like you're talking of drones which are flying at medium altitude for a longer period or higher altitude for a longer period. Those drones for defense application, they are so very, very high value. So market for the agri drone as well as defense drones will be big. And for us, we are there in both the verticals, and we should be looking at benefiting from both of them.
Gurmeet, should we squeeze in the anti-drone business question here before we move on to the next vertical?
No, yeah, please do that. I mean, I'm actually, yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, but Munjal, very quickly, you were sounding fairly excited about this anti-drone opportunity. Can you talk about that before Gurmeet asks his next question?
I am still very excited about the anti-drone subsidiary of Paras Defense, and I am personally, like, our company, yes, everyone, but I am personally very, very bullish, and I'm looking forward to this. We have 3 different types of anti-drone solutions that are in the making. The first one is handheld anti-drone gun, which you probably look at doing, which has a capability to do about 0.5 kilometer to 1 kilometer. Handheld, very reasonably priced. We are going to be ready with this for demos, maybe last quarter of this calendar year. And we are looking to build the best performance handheld gun with at the lowest price possible, probably looking at competing with the entire world. So we are looking at this as a global product, and we believe this will be sold in huge quantities once we are through with all our demos. So this is our first product. The second product of ours is a man-portable a backpack type of a jammer radar. Okay, this is also a very, very great product. And also this, we are doing it, actually, we have started working on it for a French company. We are developing for a French company. Can you imagine, like a European company, like looking at Paris for making the development or doing the joint development? We believe that this product also has a capability up to 1.5 kilometer, will be ready for demos in the last quarter of this financial year. And also this will be this will be sold locally and globally, and a great market for this. And our most flagship product that we are currently working on is the drone shield. You know, like a Iron Dome, we are also working on a product known as drone shield, where you have a modular anti-drone system which can be deployed in multiples of 1.5 kilometer, and could be deployed at the border, could be deployed at the airports, could be deployed at seaports, on refineries, on all strategic assets of our country. And this also 100% designed, developed, and manufactured in-house. So, and in anti-drone business, there are few people who are actually doing turnkey solution within their own company. And since we are doing most of the modules, or each and every module in our own company, we believe that we will be able to make it at the most lowest price, and also sell it at a very, very reasonable margin, and make good value for all of us.
All the best for that. Gurmeet, over to you. Final question.
I think we could have probably done a workshop, Niraj, instead of this short format. Anyways, I think I think most new opportunities covered. One thing which I also was wanting to understand is that like HAL, service and maintenance makes up a large component of the business. I'm not comparing. I'm just trying to draw a bit of an analogy here. I saw your pilot certification program also. I just went in depth on few things because we were trying to track this. And so I wanted to understand, do you see the services bit, the training bit, so much capex being done? There's a fleet modernization, government has approved $130 billion drone. Do you see it also an opportunity on the services side, where, say you mentioned about training pilots for the drone and others. Do you think, how is that as an opportunity? Any inquiries on this? Any updates on that?
So we are yet to get our certification for starting of the training for pilots. But what we did in the meantime is, because it was taking a bit of more time, so we have created a course which is an online training course. Okay, so we have already built the material for online training, and right now we are doing in-house trials. And we are going to be opening it for people very shortly, just a matter of maybe a few weeks when we go live. And we are now starting with a very unique offering, which is like you are doing online training and offering the course at a very, very reasonable price. You're talking of maybe offering this course less than 10,000 rupees, and also getting the full experience what you otherwise could get in physical. And also, this can be, even the students could be interested. They get a certificate that they have completed this course, and it also helps them probably when they are going further in life. So we have a multiple maybe possibility this online training academy or online training course, and yes, overall, if you see the training or the services business also is going to be very big. Just like if you want to know the other possibilities also for services, like you are doing industrial surveillance, like the big factories will be looking at drone as surveillance mode, and they will be so there will be also service contract, then also services on behalf of maybe the companies who require pesticide to be sprayed on the farms, or maybe also fertilizers. So a lot of services possibility also exist for the people in this domain, and it is just that what you are offering, but a lot of possibilities are there.
Great. Okay. Well, I think that sums up a lot of conversation. We would have loved to do numbers, but Paras Defense is in a silent period, so can't quite talk about those. But those we will cover when they come out with the results and they do an interaction with us. So viewers will get you that at that point of time. Munjal, lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us on Insight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Niraj. Thank you, Gurmeet. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. Well, viewers, so that's the point on Paras Defense. Now, Gurmeet, would love to understand from you. You've obviously tracked this company. You've tracked this space. You've tracked this company. What are your assumptions about growth? And did the interaction in some way either fortify that view or make you wonder about a few things which might come at a later stage? Anything that you would want to share?
So, Niraj, as I said, this is a tech company, right? In a defense space, just the array of things they are doing. I think it could be a little overwhelming for a retail investor in terms of understanding what they do, right? Very difficult to see. Investing is all about plotting next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, earnings and cash flows. It will be very difficult. So, I would suggest that it should be part of a satellite part of the portfolio. If you have the understanding, technical know-how, well enough. So that's right. I think they delivered 50% standalone growth last year. I think, and it's a high growth company since IPO. I think the expectations are high. We've seen that in some other niche tech plays, not necessarily related to defense, like KPIT or Tata Elxsi. Right? You expect a higher growth, and that's what these companies are. So I think it should be another good year with the kind of opportunity size they're speaking about. But on the overall sector, you should have more diversified. You should have a nice mix of good PSUs. Because a lot of these PSUs have 3-4 TTM kind of an order backlog. Most of them are trading at 18-20 times, despite some run up. And there are some, as I said, the vendor ecosystem also, which are far more simpler players. Something like, let's say, solar, which is into explosives, and now the defense order book is already 1,100 crores and shaking quite well.
Okay. Last question, Gurmeet. In which case, for a company like Paras Defense or some others, so like I said at the start, there's been a divergent trend. Some companies have done well, some haven't. On the bourses, so Paras Defense, I was checking the 52-week high, or the all-time high actually, not the 52-week high, is nearly 1,200. Stock is at about 550. It's more than halved. Is it a case of they having or the market having presumed or they having promised a lot more than they have delivered? Why such an acute disappointment? And what is in store for the future? What are your assumptions?
So, Niraj, if you see the IPO when it came, it was priced at about 30-31 times, and we saw a stellar run. Right, and I often give this example of Tata Elxsi, KPIT also, that because high growth companies, niche companies, futuristic companies, tend to command that kind of growth. So the movement will be very sharp, and that's why I made a point that the journey could be very volatile. Also, in this case, the gestation periods for so many things could be very, very long. In some cases, probably the revenue potential could be realized in 5 years. Right? In some cases, it could be more medium term, very long term. So I think the view on, if you want to get into this company, it's a bit of a leap of faith, to be honest, because you don't know what you're going to get with. So be a small part of the portfolio. It obviously has to go into high risk bucket. But the risk reward is pretty favorable after the price correction. I think now the valuations are more reasonable. Still not cheap, despite I think at 550, but I think it's a lot more reasonable than they were after the euphoria. Also, the environment has changed. Last 1.5 years, I think the interest rates have gone up. So, and it's not going to remain same. We tend to extrapolate things, right? But we don't know what rates should be like a year down the line.
That's true. Okay, Gurmeet, we'll keep on taking comments from you on this during the course of the year as well. But lovely insights from you, lovely conversation, and lovely questioning to Paras Defense. Should you think of moving out of money management? Anchoring is an option, Gurmeet.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today, Gurmeet. Lovely having you. And viewers, thanks for tuning into this edition of Insight.